Greetings, you people. This is Briarstone, and I welcome you back to episode 7 of Skyrim Roguelike. This is character creation. There is no action in this episode, just banter and, well, getting to know the next character. And if you take a good long look at this fellow, you'd realize that he is a Bosmer, also known as a Wood Elf, and this is who we are going to be. This is the race of episode 7. The clan folk of the western Valenwood forests, also known as Bosmer, Wood Elves make good scouts and thieves, and there are no finer archers in all of Tamriel. They have natural resistances to both poisons and diseases. They can command animals to fight for them. Sounds all bloody brilliant. Now I'm keeping the sex a male, and I am going to take a look at the presets. Because they do tend to help me decide what type of character I want to play as. This fellow looks pretty young, and I kind of like the hair. However, I'm going to change his skin tone. I think I'm going to make it a bit fair, like unnaturally fair. I want to basically give this guy a bit of a distinguishing characteristic, almost, what's the word? An aberration of the species. He's going to be the odd man out for his race there. We are going to give him a bit of heft here. Now, I do not know if you know much about Bosmer, but just to fill you in on a couple of things, the Bosmer tend to be carnivores overall. Almost religiously so. And carnivores to what some people may consider an extreme. They are ritualistic cannibals. However, they do so in an honorable fashion. Those of their family, those of their own race, or those they fight in war, they honor them by consuming them. Okay. So this is another sort of role-playing aspect that we're going to do for this fellow. We are going to be cannibalistic. Now, let's get a good idea on the complexion here. I have several complexion options due to a mod I installed known as Racist Plus. But I don't want to make him so aged looking. Aged is not exactly good for this character. And that would be the Dromora look. Where's a good... I need a good look. Almost like that. Or just standard nothing. Let's go for this one. And let's take the dirt off. Or maybe... I usually take the dirt off anyway. Let's put a little dirt on. Just because I wanted to instinctively take the dirt off. So we're going to put the dirt on. Let's see. Scar tissue. Very light scars, although I think he should have one. He's a bit of a fighter. I'm also going to say that he's a bit of a runt. Like, in comparison to many others of his tribe. I think tribe might be the wrong word. But to others of his community, he's a bit of a runt growing up. And I don't usually go for war paint, but this looks significantly good. I'm thinking about making this character into someone, you know, just a kind of a quick backstory. He's going to be hunting. This is going to be a hunting campaign. The end game is basically going to be getting the full list of materials to take back to his home. Perhaps as dowry. Perhaps himself, and maybe, I don't know, 9 other Bosmer are sort of in a competition for the hand of the chief's daughter? And to kind of put it on a little bit more of a personal aspect, perhaps, just perhaps, he has to get more, like maybe even twice as much stuff to convince the tribal chieftain there of his worthiness, I suppose, for his daughter's hand. I'm not sure. Let's figure out a more paint color. And perhaps these 3 dots signify something. What would the 3 dots signify? If you have a suggestion, leave it in the comment section. What would those 3 dots across the forehead signify? Would that be 1 dot for the loyalty to the tribe, another dot for the fact that he's participating in this event, the 3rd dot being, I don't know. What do you guys think? Think of something. We'll carry it on from there. This is just as much your story as it is mine. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of green. I like the green. I like the green because I'm thinking also in terms of the green packs. We're going to keep it at green. Now, with the Racist Plus mod, I do have access to a number of different noses. Different noses, as you can see. Some that look remarkably weird. Although I don't want to make him ugly. I do want to make him and the supposed chieftain daughter, I want to make them both, I like that sharp nose. I think I'm going to keep that sharp nose. Or thin nose. I want to make them sort of childhood friends, really, really close friends. But because he's a bit of an aberration that, you know, the chieftain really doesn't want the 2 of them to get together. But he can't outright say, no, you can't, by law. So he's just put a bigger responsibility on our Bosmer friend here. He has to really, really prove himself. Drop that jaw down a bit. Widen it up. That's too wide. Too weird. Or is that the jaw forward? No, 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 no. Where's the jaw width? That's the one I want. Thin it back up. There we go. Cheekbone height. Maybe drop it just a touch with color. Do we want color? Maybe just a touch. Laugh lines. Perhaps no laugh lines. No color there on the cheek. Nose color, just a touch. Chin color, no. Neck color, no. Forehead color, no. Eyes. Eyes shape. Eyes mean a lot to me. I have to get the proper eyes. I want keen eyes. You know what? Perhaps they need to just drop. I need to drop the eyes first, and then I'll be able to figure out what I'm doing here with the eyes. I like that, actually. That's too squinty. Those are pretty serious. He's a pretty formidable opponent, I'd say, or he's very determined. He's determined in his quest. Standard Bosmer eyes, I think. He's a bit of an aberration, but not totally. I'm going to bring the eyes down a bit more. And space them just a little bit there. Eye depth. Let's take a look from the side. Actually, no, that's perfect. He's got a nice profile there. Eye shadow. Eye tint. Not too much. Roughly there. The more I look at those eyes, the more I'm not quite sure I like them. Eye shape. Let's change it. I need them a bit thinner. Now our fellow here is going to be an expert marksman, I think. Oh, maybe those. Or those. Now I'm starting to get this why so serious vibe from him with that particular war paint. Perhaps you are as well. Although that's okay. That's definitely okay. Brow type. Let's make a thin brow. Or that's a thick bushy brow, but or no brow. Or a very horned brow. It's a bit too much of an aberration. No. Let's keep it thin. Like that. That looks good. Brow height. Raise it up a bit. Width. Space it out over his eyes just a bit. Brow forward. We gotta give him a little bit more room for his brain there. He's a very smart individual. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should just also make him very charismatic. I think that might be good as well. Mouth shape. Too big. Don't need very plump lips. But we do need some good lips. Maybe that's good. Mouth height. Too high. Drop it down. I think that's perfect where it was. Mouth back just a touch. Widen up his chin. Lengthen it. Chin... no, not chin forward. Well, maybe a little bit. Right there. Lip color. Now, that's probably another thing that's bothering me is the war paint matches the lips too well. It's not so bad. Change the hair. That is not going to work. I want a very... oh, that might work, actually. I was going to say I want a very stiff hairstyle. Or that. You know what? That works. Anything else I should change here? Face. Eye shape. Head. I like the nose okay. The complexion, maybe? He can't be too aged. Experienced, yes. Aged, no. Maybe that's okay. Anything else in body? Let's bring his heft back up a touch. Maybe that's too much of a... no, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it like that. I think. Eye shape. I'm just not quite settled on those eyes yet. Maybe they're just too high. Those are okay. I'm a bit indecisive right now. Maybe I should just stop. I've been looking at him too long. Chin length. Chin width. Okay, you know what? We're just going to call it good. This is where we're going to name him. And I should probably figure out a really good name. Give me just a moment. And I do believe the name we're going to give our character here, our Bosmer Hunter, is going to be Allimir. It's an actual Bosmer name, apparently. So that's what we're going to go with. And now here comes the fun part. Choosing a class and birth sign for this character. Let's see. Male Wood Elf. Your archery skill increases plus 10% faster, and your alchemy, light armor, lockpicking, pickpocket, sneak skills increase 5% faster. So we are very dexterous. We have nimble fingers. Let's keep that and continue. Now here's something. As a hunter, what would we have here? Maybe ritual, eh? No, we eat the dead. We don't bring them back. That's not good. How about the lover? Learn all skills 15% faster. You know what? I'm going to probably go with this. I'm going to go with the lover and kind of roleplay it in the fact that, you know, he's very, very determined. He really, really, really wants the hand of his childhood friend. They love each other even now, but, you know, according to actual law, it's the one who brings back the most significant dowry. The one who has shown the most formidable prowess in hunting and providing is the one who will get to be the next chief. You know what? I'm gonna go with the lover because it sounds like him. Choose that. Now choose a class. I'm thinking stealth classes might also be a very, very good idea. Not an assassin per se. Now he could be a pilgrim because he is coming up out of Valenwood. What does pilgrim do? Hearty folk, well versed in the tomes of old, they profit in life by bartering in the market or by persuading the weak-minded. Well, we do have the gift of speech. Major skills is speech. That's pretty interesting. Let's go back and see what else we can do. Even have a custom class. That's pretty interesting. What if I do this? Stealth specialization. No. Let's keep it simple, shall we? Stealth classes. What if I was to play not as a thief, maybe a bard? Intelligent and personable, they prefer to accomplish tasks with their words first and swords second. No. Acrobat. The kind of person that uses agility and endurance to their advantage, unafraid of jumping long distances. Archery, block, one-handed, lockpicking, sneak, and speech. This sounds more like our fellow. Perhaps he's an acrobat. He's very, very dexterous. He's a wood elf. One of his major skills definitely has to be archery. The other, speech. And sneak, because he's a hunter. Speech also, I guess, and also being able to sell his goods. Lockpicking and such. I think I'm going to choose that. Your kit determines your starting equipment. Choose wisely. What happens with the acrobat? Acrobat is a polite euphemism for agile burglars and second-story men. These thieves avoid detection by stealth and rely on mobility and cunning to avoid capture. What about an assassin kit? Killers who rely on stealth and mobility to approach victims undetected. Execution is with ranged weapons or with short blades for close work. Assassins include ruthless murderers and principled agents of noble causes. Now this could actually work, because I'm thinking, A, you know, being a hunter, you would require stealth and to approach victims undetected. And to be good with short blades to actually, you know, properly skin your kill. And agents of noble causes. He does have a noble cause. His cause is to bring back the most impressive dowry to get the hand of the chieftain's daughter. That's perfect, choosing that. Enable? Yes, yes, yes. Of course. And that's going to do it, guys. Look for Chapter 1 coming up very, very quickly. As you can see, we are already teleported into a giant's cave, it seems. I'm very concerned. But we're going to see what happens, guys. Tune in next time. Chapter 1's coming up right around the bend. Skyrim Roguelike. If you like this video, please leave a like. And subscribe if you haven't already to the channel to see what happens to Allimir, the man with the grocery list. See you guys soon. Briarstone is signing out.